Well, Bronny James is doing it, just as his daddy has done multiple times in the past. He is taking his talents too? Well, we don't quite know yet, but what we do know is he is seemingly leaving USC. Because according to LeBron, USC just wasn't winners, and Bronny wants to play with winners. And while that should then eliminate the possibility of Bronny teaming with dearest daddy, who famously was a big loser in 6 of his 10 NBA Finals appearances, that such pairing does seem to be on the potential list of possibilities as well for Bronny next season. As Bronny hasn't just entered the transfer portal, he has also declared for the 2024 NBA Draft while maintaining his collegiate eligibility. And now Bronny will go through the draft process next month, meeting with teams and receiving feedback before his ultimate decision must be made on May 31st as to whether he will remain in the draft. And it is unclear as to just what kind of feedback Bronny might need to receive, as the 6'3" guard averaged just 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game for USC this season. He was just the 8th leading scorer on the team this year, a team that finished only 15-18 and was 9th in their conference for the season, and the Pac-12 had a down year, sending only 4 teams to the NCAA tournament. So Bronny didn't even average 5 points per game for a bad college team, yet he is ready all of a sudden to make the jump to the NBA? Of course he isn't, but none of that matters now, as LeBron and Bronny are a package deal. And LeBron has been talking about the possibility of teaming with Bronny at the NBA level since his son was in the 7th grade. No pressure, kid. And he recently this season posted a tweet before later deleting it about Bronny being better than several NBA players are right now. Oh, and in 2022, LeBron went on record with Jason Lloyd of The Athletic saying, quote, "My last year will be played with my son. Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be. I would do whatever it takes to play with my son for 1 year." Now, what would be best for Bronny, clearly, is to stay in college for at least 1 more year, as he has recently been removed from the ESPN mock draft for 2024 and added into the 2025 draft as a 39th pick. Yes, according to ESPN's draft experts, Bronny wouldn't even have legitimate first-round NBA value even after next season. And while Bronny has entered the transfer portal, USC head coach Andy Enfield has, in what amounts to a somewhat surprising move, left the school to take the SMU job, while USC has named Eric Musselman as the next head man. And Musselman has had numerous stints in the NBA, including as the head coach of the Warriors and Kings in the early 2000s. And that seems like a pretty good place for Bronny to work on his game and prepare himself for the next level. A decision that would no doubt give Bronny the best chance of not merely making an NBA roster, but actually staying in the NBA. But who cares? LeBron wants to play with his son. And while there will be plenty of speculation as to what teams might be able to snag Bronny in the draft and ensnare LeBron into taking his talents to his next NBA franchise, there is no doubt that Clutch will be driving the decision. LeBron's agency, longtime LeBron confidant Rich Paul's agency, who has amassed an immense amount of power and influence around the league, will determine where Bronny is going to be selected, and more than likely, no team will stand in their way. And the most obvious and likely destination will be that of the Lakers, as James has made it pretty clear as recently as the trade deadline earlier this season that he is happy with the Lakers and content with continuing their little partnership. And I mean, why wouldn't he be? They have Anthony Davis, who when healthy and actually on the court, is an undeniable top 10 full-court player league-wide. In addition to that, the Lakers are stock full of an assortment of championship-caliber role players. And the Lakers are willing to have their franchise hijacked by LeBron, to acquiesce to his every whim, such as drafting his son, who is averaging 4.8 points per game on a bad college team. But all of this does make perfect sense. LeBron James, the poster child of this entitled, petulant era of NBA basketball. And nothing screams entitlement more than some good old-fashioned nepotism. Bronny will be taking the roster slot of a much more deserving player, and he will be bringing the Lakers absolutely nowhere closer to being championship ready. But who cares about any of that? All that really matters here is what the self-proclaimed king wants, and his pathetic little franchise that is inept enough to make it all happen.